Welcome to another episode of Brand Lincoln, where we take a look around the Lincoln, Nebraska area and introduce you to business owners and influential people in the city. We are brought to you by Perch Merch. Perch Merch is a locally owned, custom screen printing and embroidery apparel shop that also specializes in vehicle wraps, decals, and all sorts of promotional products. If your business, school, or team is looking to expand your brand, head to perch-merch.com or call us at 402-217-5212.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Brand Lincoln. I'm your host, Chris Beecham. I'm joined by my co-host, Henry Schmidt.
Hey Chris, nice to see you this afternoon.
Yeah, been a long time. And our producer, Joe Cruz.
I am stoked. Let's do this.
Well, before we introduce our guest today, I would just like to thank everybody for listening, and if everybody could just like and subscribe on whatever platform you're listening to, we would very much be appreciative of that. If you want to leave us a review, that'd be great. Just 5 stars is
That's the
sufficient
only one we
enough.
accept.
Yeah, well, you can put a bad review, but you still have to put 5 stars and then put the bad review in the comments underneath. So I think that's fair. Don't even try the other way. It won't even accept it. So today in the Perch Merch studio, we are with Manny Walker, who owns Nebraska Knockerball, which is located at 2350 Judson Street, which is kind of by Spikes. Hi, Manny.
How's it going, guys?
How are you?
Excellent.
So, Knockerball, which I have not been there yet, but kind of give us a brief description of the main part of it.
So Knockerballs is a inflatable ball that you wear like a backpack, and you run into each other. You know, it's physically engaging. It weighs maybe about 5 to 7 pounds, but you don't notice it because you carry it on your shoulders. You carry a lot more than that on your shoulders every day, don't you? Stress, tension.
Yeah.
So,
And that's how we get rid of that stress and
that's
tension.
right, exactly right. You take out all the stress by running into somebody, because we all want that one shot, that one opportunity, but we don't want to go to jail, right? So couples therapy, hey, yeah, we're cheaper than a therapist.
There you go.
So Knockerball, it's basically, that's a name, but we offer so much more than just Knockerball. I probably should put some extra thought into my name, but Knockerball started over in Norway, and it come over to the United States probably 15 years ago or so. I don't know exactly when, but I looked into it in 2022. There was a Knockerball Carney about 2015, I think, and it didn't do so well for whatever reason. I don't know if they didn't market it or what, but we had to get their good graces to get the LLC, and now we are Nebraska Knockerball because we don't just do business in Lincoln. We do business all over the state.
So you'll basically travel anywhere that needs it.
Yep, we've done post-proms all the way up in Thedford.
I have no idea where that is.
That's about 4 hours west-northwest.
Okay.
Now, I'm gonna back up for just 1 second, and I want to describe to the listeners what exactly this Knockerball is. It's a giant inflatable ball that you kind of crawl into, your legs are sticking out of.
Right.
They've probably seen them on shows like Jackass or something.
Maybe.
But
or like Wipeout, would that?
Sure, maybe Wipeout. But then you and your friends are all wearing these.
Right.
And you just joust into each other.
We have so many different games that we play inside the Knockerballs, but yes, just freestyle.
I have seen Knockerball soccer.
Yep, knocker soccer. Yep.
Yeah,
that's
soccer.
always fun to say, knocker soccer. It's a normal game of soccer, but you're actually wearing the balls, and you can knock your opponents down and not get called for a foul.
Yeah. Maybe they should wear these in the.
Hey, I tell you what, if there's not a movie made about it sometime soon, it's going to be hilarious. You're going to laugh your ass off.
Call Will Ferrell.
Because that's all I know about it is like seeing TikToks about it, and it just looks like 2 people just running as fast as they can at each other.
Essentially,
and somebody loses.
Somebody needs to go down. Somebody has to win. There's always a loser and a winner in every game. But, you're both going to get up. If you get knocked down, you're not going to get hurt. You don't feel any pain. It's all a transfer of energy. The balls are designed to be a shock absorber, and so you're going to bounce right back up as soon as you fall down.
So you haven't had any injuries or anything like that?
No, not so much. If you follow directions, you'll not get hurt. Literally, people can walk out their door and sprain their ankle. You can sprain your ankle. There's a risk for it. I'm not going to lie, there is. But most people, if you're physically active, you're not going to have that risk because you're already doing that in your normal life.
Is there a minimum age or anything like that? Or
if you can talk and walk, you can get in a knockerball. I've got toddler-sized knockerballs. I've had.
Really? There we go. That could be a fun game.
Hey, I tell you what, you want to talk about funny as shit. So
I bet.
Imagine wiener dogs and their little legs, right? All you see is just their little legs sticking out. So that's what the toddlers look like. I've had some that were 9 years old that fit in a toddler ball because they were just petite, but. Yeah, they get in there. There's no real big hits, but they just get in there and kind of bounce around. It's really funny. The cool thing is it's a bonding experience. So I've had a 76-year-old grandmother playing with her 6-year-old great-grandson.
No
Dude,
way.
You can't do that anywhere. I mean, you're not going to have that opportunity anywhere else.
Did Grandma knock him around a little
Oh,
bit?
yeah.
That's
She sent him
awesome.
to space.
She's like, this is my time. This is my time.
All those years that you were whining and ornery, now's my chance to get even.
That's right. All that, bitching and moaning, now you can just totally just annihilate them.
Oh, my gosh, that's great.
So you have a facility that's obviously like a warehouse type thing.
Right.
And so you can do the knockerball. And then from the pictures I've seen, you have a lot of different activities.
Oh, man, we have a menagerie of activities for people to do. It's never the same. People get to choose what games they want to play when they come to my facility. And so we have games such as Basketball Connect 4. That's got about 8 slots for basketball. Essentially, you are trying to connect 4. But of the 2 years that I've had that game, maybe 3 times people have actually played Connect 4. Usually, it's just, hey, let's get back and see how far we can shoot it from. Let's hey Curry, LeBron. All right, cool. But also we have the foot darts. That's our dartboard. On one side, you kick Velcro soccer balls at, and on the back side is a 3-hole football toss, just like you'd see at the NCAA championship football games where they're doing the Dr. Pepper scholarship giveaway. You can do that at the same time.
That would be neat to try. I always feel like I could do a lot better.
Well, they
Right?
usually
Any
pick
of
like
those
these
people
nerdy kids, and you're
that
like,
can't
I could
throw.
totally do better than
I
that.
was like, I kind of want to try it.
But it
Yeah.
might be pretty humbling.
It is very humbling. Even
Yeah.
me being the owner, I get all the opportunities to do it, but I can't throw a football for shit. I can throw it better underhanded than I can overhanded. So.
I'm starting to think we should have done this podcast at his facility.
Yeah.
And then we
feel
could
like we really dropped the
sampled
ball
all
on
this.
that.
Yeah.
Drop the knocker ball.
Or
you
done
might
it right
say.
after we just knocked each other around for a while.
But yeah, we have other games. Like I said, the axe throw. We have 2 different axe throws. You're throwing foam axes with Velcro blades. You ain't got to worry about chopping your little fingers off. We do Zorb balls. You ever heard of a Zorb ball?
I have not.
Zorb balls are the latest and craziest thing. So they're like a giant hamster ball. You get your whole body into it.
Oh.
And so you're moving around inside. A lot of places are seeing them on TikTok where they take them out on water, which is absolutely insane.
That's terrifying.
That is a liability as a business owner. If you're just a consumer and you go buy one, well, good luck to you. Hope you have a goodwill. But no, these things your whole body gets into, and it has an opening on one side, that you crawl into, so it never closes up. So you can always jump out if you want to, but inside you're literally a hamster. You're using all your muscles. I don't promote exercise. I promote entertainment that you get a little bit of exercise out of. And so things that are fun, you don't realize that you're doing something good for yourself. So as long as you're physically active, which 92% of America isn't, that's crazy numbers.
Oh, Chris is looking at me, big eyes right now.
Yeah.
We had the Liza with the gym last week.
Well, yeah, and I thought about it.
That's one of the reasons I won't promote exercise, because there's many companies out there, and that's what their gig is. I don't really do all that. I probably should, but I don't.
Oh well, they clearly come for the fun with
Well, yeah,
Knockerball.
you come for the
Yeah.
fun and you get the benefit of, physical activity.
Yeah, especially if you're bringing the kids, they just wear themselves out.
Hey, I tell you what, that's one of the reasons why people come to my facility is they can just let their kids be kids, and they know that I'm going to be the one running the show, making sure people are staying engaged, staying safe, and having fun.
You were saying, okay, and then you can also, if I wanted to have a party at my house, you would bring anything I wanted to my house.
Essentially, everything that I own will travel except the Nerf parties, just because it's too hard to keep up with the darts. Yep.
A Nerf party. So
Yep. Another one of those things. We have, over 20 Nerf guns that we, allow up to 20 people to play for 2 hours. Yeah, I've got probably 4,000 rounds of darts. So
this sounds like a
you're
blast.
never going to run
My
out.
childhood just envisioned.
So we have both the Nerf darts and the rival blaster balls. So if you want to have a step above, little kiddie fun.
What is a rival blaster ball?
So the rival blaster balls are literally just the yellow balls. It's like a miniature golf ball, but it's
okay.
Kind of a Nerf texture.
Like a foam?
Right. Yep,
Okay.
they are foam.
Do they hurt?
It's less than a paintball,
Okay.
but they do travel, around 100 feet per second.
You're going to know when you get hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you're wearing something big and baggy.
Okay.
Which is advisable if you're playing, those those guys.
Like a hoodie,
Yeah.
a couple layers.
Tell me how the whole arsenal, like in the special room, like in the movies,
Like caged up?
The
Right.
spy opens up the closet door, and then you walk in, and
It's a little spy closet.
Look around
guns
all
and
the
everything.
guns, test
Yep.
it out.
We got all the way from handguns to rifles to Gatling guns. So
Oh no! I'd choose mine. Like the Terminator.
Didn't you? You were talking about there's like a human foosball thing.
Yeah, that's what. If you said you could bring that to my house.
right, anything other than the Nerf, yes, we can bring it to your house. Human foosball is our 45-foot long, 20-foot wide inflatable that is essentially the same as a foosball table times 100. You are the characters on that foosball table, so you're holding on to a cable inside. So just like you'd see on a table, you got the goalie, defender, goalie, right? So 5 versus 5, fast, competitive fun. You may take a stray ball to the face. It happens quite a lot.
I have done that before, and I have received many soccer balls to my body that I did not need to happen.
But it is, very, very fun. Like I said, it's competitive. We have a lot of team building that, chooses to do that because it builds camaraderie, right? And that's what we're all about is that camaraderie, spirit that a lot of companies need. We have birthday parties and all that, but they're just having fun for that one event. When you build camaraderie and you have team, activities for people to do, that builds a better team, because if you can't work together and have fun together, it's going to be a really boring, shitty job.
Yeah. Chris, what do you think? We should...
Yeah, we're in.
We're in?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I know we had kind of talked about that before. You're kind of, you're open during the week, during the day.
I am open whenever I need to be right now.
But you say, like offices could go do like a team building type thing.
Yep. If you need to do it at 8 o'clock in the morning, we can get that taken care of. Or if you need to do it at 10 o'clock at night, we can do that too.
Oh, wow. That's some dedication for your clientele.
It's what you got to be. As a small business owner, you got to have that dedication and consistency for your consumers.
Terrific.
So, do you have to have a group show up, or like if I'm like it's a Saturday, I'm like I just want to go knock some kids around.
Well, you don't have to have necessarily a group. If you got some kids, obviously it's not going to be fun just you. You're going to be doing something good for yourself, but it's not going to be as much fun.
So it's more of
Or
like
there's no
birthday
drop-in
party or
time.
office
right.
setting.
No, I'm not just waiting there for
I'm going to
somebody
hang
come
out
in.
until
Okay.
another group comes, and I'm going to join them.
Can't go.
No,
stag.
so everything I do is private. So only the people that you invite is going to be there.
Okay, so it's
Yep.
reservation.
Yep.
Okay, that's good to know. Okay, well, let's go back to how did this even happen? How did we get this going?
Yeah, absolutely. It started probably in 2018, I think it was. I found a couple of these off-brand bubble balls on Facebook Marketplace, and I was running heavy equipment for my day job, and it was fun at one point. But over the years, it got a little bit overregulated, and you couldn't tell jokes, couldn't cut up, couldn't have fun at work. And I've said since day one, if you can't have fun at work, don't fucking go. Like straight up, if you can't have fun, why do you report every day and do something that you just really don't want to do?
Yeah.
And so once I got those couple of balls on Facebook Marketplace, had some friends over, had some adult beverages, like, damn, this is a lot of fun. I wonder if I could make money with this. Well, you put in a little bit of time and research in on Google, and they tend to listen to you. So one day I had a sponsored ad on Facebook from Knockerball USA. So I give it a call.
It's creepy like that, isn't it?
Right, yeah. Dude, like Big Brother's always listening, and now, also Google and Facebook. But I call in the middle of the pandemic. This is, probably January of 2021. And the sales team of this international company is out with COVID. So I ended up talking to the CEO of this international company, and he gave me his sales pitch, and it didn't really feel salesy. It felt more like, hey, this is something that I could totally get behind. And so, again, I put some more time and research into it, and I finally decided I wanted to move forward, but I just didn't have the money. So I saved a little bit here and there. Well, because of COVID, I lost my mom. And that put a priority on my time with my family. And so I took a layoff from my job in 21 in November, and I sit at home thinking what I was going to do with my life, that I could spend more time with my family. No matter what it was, I needed that time with my family because obviously time is short. So that was from November to January of 22. And I'm like, you know what? We're doing it. Let's get this, and I'll just make the best of it. If it works, it works. If it don't, it don't. So, yeah, that was January 5th of 22. I got all of my inventory in by almost the first week of February. And my first event was in April. I didn't have a space. What do? It's not really warm out yet, so I had to rent Lincoln Sports Foundation, the old Abbott Sports Complex, right?
Okay.
$100 an hour. My first event was only 90 minutes, so I had to rent it for 3 hours. Well, that ate into my profits, obviously. So I knew I had to find a space before winter. So for 2022, I think I'd done maybe 30 events. It was very slow because it's a new business. Nobody knows you exist.
Yeah. But it seems to be working now.
Oh, it's growing for sure.
Yeah, like before you came in to start getting merch from us, I was seeing your stuff, So like, 'cause I didn't even know Lincoln had anything like that, and all of a sudden I was like, we have one of these.
I like Facebook, but I'm not very good at it, and so I had to take a social media class to learn, how to really promote. And since doing that, I learned to put out quite a few videos so that way people can, find out about you, because as a new business, even radio, TV, none of that really works, especially not magazines. But
I'm sure a lot of our listeners have seen your truck drive around.
Oh, yeah.
It caught my eye the first time I've seen it.
I usually have the big knockerball in the back.
Yep.
And so, you do get that rubberneck, and like, what is that?
Yep.
And you're not. It's just marketing, right? You're not transporting it anywhere.
No,
You're just
that's just marketing. I'm a rolling billboard.
Yeah, nice.
It's like
Very
Red Bull
smart.
with their big can on the back.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it grabs attention. And so it was a no-brainer whenever I realized that I could do that, which is kind of funny. I haven't seen anybody else do that, doing what I'm doing. They don't travel around with the ball in the back. So I'm kind of unique in that aspect.
How long do the balls last? I mean, how durable are these things?
These are very durable. They're a TPU, which is a thermopolyurethane. And so I haven't had any of them pop over 2 years.
Oh, wow.
How are those compared to those first balls that you bought in 2018?
Oh, the first balls I bought, they were very heavy because they are just a vinyl. And so these are lighter than that and more durable because they the first ones I had looked more like an egg. These actually look like a regular spherical ball. And so they're lighter, and the restraint for the harness is a lot more intact. So it's just more, engineering, I think, is what's better with these.
Are you clipped in, or is it just straps around your arms?
It's like a 5-point harness type.
Oh, okay.
You can, tighten the straps up.
Do people get stuck Like when they fall over, like, it's like an upside down
That would be
roly
me.
poly
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Right. So when they fall, if I don't tell them beforehand that, the best way to get up after falling down is to roll over to your knees, they do look like a fish out of water. They're trying to raise up,
Well, especially the kids, because they're barely out of the...
Right. Your legs are, not really that strong.
You could have a YouTube channel based just on this. I would watch it, just watching little kids get stuck.
Yeah, it's... I thought you were going like, do they get stuck in the ball? I've had some, get stuck in the ball just because they didn't listen whenever I was given the instruction on how to get out. Women are the ones that usually get stuck just because we don't have the body that a woman has as us men, right? We are just what we are, but women obviously have breasts, and when they go in, they don't come out as easy. So a lot of times you have to make sure, there's somebody behind to pull their shirt down so that way it doesn't raise up or nothing like that. But it's never anything that's like permanent.
What's the most fun you've seen or event you've had?
The most fun event, honestly, I'll probably have to say a 5th grade party for Cabot Elementary. We had probably 85 5th graders in the shop, and the staff.
Do you have that many balls?
No, so that they wasn't doing knockerball. They were doing other inflatables.
They were doing
Okay.
all the fun stuff that you
I'm
have
still
there.
stuck on the knockerball. And
No,
There's
I
so much
have-
more than that, Chris.
I know, but I really
I
wanna
have
do that.
16 large, 16 mediums, 7 smalls, and 1 extra large. The extra large, I've had some really large men in there, literally, like 400 pounds.
So there's no excuse.
There is no excuse. If you can walk and talk, you can get in a ball.
Mm-hmm.
I love having that opportunity because so many people, of larger sizes feel like they're excluded from doing any kind of cool activities. Not at my place.
Well, they probably dominate.
They do.
They're hard to
They
get over.
literally throw their weight
so
around.
much fun.
They literally do throw their weight around.
Put
you
them
had
with
80
the 9-year-olds. There we go. TikTok video right there.
You had 80 5th graders doing. I mean, they got to be running around like
Literally,
crazy.
they were just playing, foosball. We had the basketball Connect 4, the axe throw. I think I had some of my yard pong, which is another, one of those little yard games that we do. It's those big 32-gallon Ace trash canisters. That
Oh, yes.
I've got taped up to look like a white, red Solo cup.
Yep.
You'd do quite well at that, Joe, I think.
That's the one I'd really want to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely a skill game. But the 5th graders, I don't know, like their mom was, all okay with like 90s music, and it was just, if we're having an event at my space, I promise you we're jamming. And so, to be able to just have free reign, no matter what it was, was amazing because the moms were up there dancing, having a good time while the kids are over here playing. So nobody was really sitting.
Oh, that's great.
So you brought up adult beverages when you first did it. Do you sell adult beverages? Are you allowed to bring them in? Because
I can't sell because obviously I don't have a liquor license, and I can't tell you that it's BYOB, but it's a private venue. If it shows up, then hey,
Not kicking people out.
Not kicking people out as long as you're responsible and not acting the fool when you're walking out. I'm not going to tell you no because a lot of times adults when they want to leave the house, that's why they don't drink at home because it's boring. So you want to get out of the house and go have some adult beverages. It's a lot cheaper if you bring them than if you buy them, right? So yeah, that's totally acceptable if you want to bring them.
So what is the average cost? Is this pretty affordable or?
It depends on what you deem affordable. So if you look at the cost of entertainment, right? If you were to go, say, to a big box entertainment store here in town, I'm not going to name any names.
If I wanted to jump around on some sort of trampoline type material.
Something like that, right? If you were to go do that, you're paying per person. So if you got a group of 20 people, you're all paying $30, right? Well, that same $600, you could do 3 inflatables for $549 plus whatever the tax is, and that's all it's going to be at that facility is just those people that you have in your group. You ain't got to wait your turn. You don't get a private room for your little party.
Don't have to worry about other kids.
Exactly.
Families running around and jumping in my face.
There's always the bully kid too.
Yeah, you always have that bully kid,
around.
especially if you got an event where like occasionally I do open play. If I had the knockerballs out there, you have that kid exactly. He just won't listen. He don't want to do anything but just smash. That's cool, but that's not acceptable. I have a responsibility to my customers and my business to keep everybody safe. Because if I can't keep you safe, I'm not going to be in business very long, right? I'm going to have high insurance. And so nothing happens for knockerball if I'm not there. Other things I can drop off and leave to you if that's what you want. But if you want to play knockerball, I'm staying for sure.
I understand that.
So you can get 3 inflatables for $549. That's
$549. Basically, my inflatables are the ones that require a blower to stay inflated, right? $549 gets you 3 of them.
For 90 minutes?
For 90 minutes. If you want to play longer than 90 minutes, it's $75 for every half hour after that. So no matter what you paid for that initial 90 minutes, it's only going to cost you $75 for an extra half hour.
What if you just wanted to do the knockerball?
So you're going to start at 6 knockerballs for $250 for 90 minutes, right? Occasionally I will let, hey, I just want to go out there with my date, right? You just want to have a date night. Occasionally I'll do that. It's not on the menu all the time, but that's $50 a ball. And so $100 for you and your date and 90 minutes of fun. Cool.
That would be a fun
It's like a
day.
movie and snacks at this
Right.
point.
Yeah. If you want to bring your own drinks and have a good time. I even got a movie screen. If you want to watch a movie with your family, we'll bring that out to you. You put it in your backyard, 20-foot movie screen. Bring the projector and speakers and.
You legit just keep adding stuff to this list.
Oh yeah, literally.
Like,
I have a menagerie, and people tell me I should pick one or two things and just be really great at it, but I don't want to just do one or two things.
People like options.
I like options myself, and so exactly.
My problem is going to be deciding which one.
That's what I've got a lot of is people think that I have too much stuff and it's overwhelming. To some maybe.
I'm still going to pick one. I'm fine with
right.
it. I'm just you can do a different one each time.
If you do that, you're never going to have the same cookie cutter experience, right? That's what I like to provide is more of an experience, not just hey, here's your stuff, have fun. I'm making sure that you're engaged, you're staying safe, having fun, making sure all the people around you is doing the same.
So did you play sports growing up? Or you're just I kind of like this knockerball thing.
It's running into people, so.
I played basketball and I ran track. We didn't really have a football team in my hometown because it's too small. But
where are you from?
I am from Southwest Arkansas.
Oh.
Can you hear the twang?
Not really. How did you end up here?
So in 2007, I come up and joined the union, to operate heavy equipment, and I worked on a pipeline over around Lexington. And I think I was on the job for 2 weeks, and I got a call. My dad got killed, so I had to leave and go home. Come back, after burying him and finish the job. And then I went to Texas after that with the firm that I was working for. And then I come back to Nebraska back in 2008. I was working in Hastings over building a power plant over there. 2009, I moved to Lincoln because the Keystone Pipeline come through, and I helped put that in. And I kind of like Lincoln. It's a big, small town, and so I didn't leave. I just moved.
Okay. Simple enough.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of other things go into it, but running equipment's what got me here.
Well, that's a great testament to our Lincoln podcast.
Yeah.
This is exactly who we want on that.
We're tracking them from Arkansas and all over.
Yeah. I tell you what, I've seen so many people from down south that come up here, and for whatever reason they stay. It doesn't matter what they like, but they're staying. So there's just not a lot of opportunities down south. My mom worked for Tyson Foods for 54 years.
Holy cow!
She retired making $15 an hour.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Oh
so to me, I stay humble from whatever I might have because she, worked all of her life to never make $1,000 a week. Now $1,000 a week, a lot of people that's a bad week.
You hear that, Chris?
I did.
I said
keep that in mind.
Not everybody, but I'm just saying a lot of people, $1,000 a week.
Not everybody.
Yeah. Wow, that's amazing.
So are you a Nebraska fan now?
Oh, most definitely. I love the Huskers. I wasn't originally because I didn't watch any sports at all.
So you weren't a Razorback fan, or
Not really.
I do the pig suey thing?
Oh, I do the pig suey, but
Do it.
no.
Suey! Oh, yeah. Clip that one.
Joe, your turn.
No, I was going to say, don't do that again. We'll have a bunch of pigs around here.
That was legit.
But no, it's been nice just because, I don't want to live any more than about 30 minutes away from anything I want or need. So Lincoln, provides that, have lots of amenities, from a small town to, a decent sized big town. Because the small town I lived, we were 570 kids or 570 people. We had 386 kids from kindergarten through 12th grade in school. So, yeah.
Wow.
Do you ever go back there?
Occasionally, once or twice a year. You usually go back for the holidays, but it depends on which holiday because we rotate.
So are you Nebraska Knockerball, or do you have any employees, or currently you're just doing it all?
Just me. My wife helps me out occasionally when she's not doing her job. She's a full-time nurse, and so my kids occasionally will help me out, depending on if they need some money.
What are your kids' ages?
My youngest is 11. My son is 14.
They probably eat the Knockerball up.
Oh yeah, anything to do at the shop, they're going at it just because it's not at home. They don't have to just sit there and play video games.
They're like, Dad's got the coolest job.
Yeah, you're basically the coolest dad.
I always thought about that. What they might be telling their friends, and a lot of times you have a job that might actually be like they're not really proud of, but I don't have that anymore. That's why I kind of give up running equipment because I didn't see them that much. And so now that I can take them to any event that I want because it's my show, I teach them work ethic, the value of $1, which is a dying thing because so many people know the cost of everything and the value of nothing. Not my kids. They know all about the value of the $1 and how hard they got to work for it.
That's awesome.
Because I assume taking that stuff to a site and unloading it and getting it all ready is not an easy task.
No, it's definitely challenging, especially, our topography around here. A lot of it's downhill, uphill, and you got a lot of, bumps and stuff in the yards. And so we do everything by like wagons. Literally, we have a 400-pound inflatable that we put on a wagon and, haul it up and down the hills. So, no, it's very physically engaging, even just setting it up before we actually get to have fun. But, there's just my human foosball is a beast. Is
that the 400-pounder?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's after I've taken the floor out. It used to have a floor that, mimicked, the grass. And you set it up in the yard, and it kind of takes the divots out, so that way you don't take as big a chance to, sprain your ankle. But, yeah, with that thing, it was $525.
Oh.
And so once I learned we could take the floor out, it was quite awesome. It made things a lot easier. It tested my marriage, I promise you that. My wife, every time we'd go to roll it up, we'd fight.
You're doing it wrong.
There's got to be an easier way. This is my business. Let me run it.
Oh, my gosh. My wife and I argue on folding up a blanket together. I couldn't even imagine.
I completely, yes. I do it wrong every time.
Well, as men, we ought to get just used to that, know that we're never going to do anything right.
But yet we still get asked to keep doing it.
Hey, especially us tall guys like me and you, Chris, there's always something that they can't reach. You're like, remember that one time you was mean to me? How bad do you want this up top the shelf?
My wife is like 5'1" or something. So, yeah, it's all the time. That's what I should do. It's like, no, you don't get it now.
That's right.
So let's move to your oh shit moments.
Yeah, I've had a lot of them.
So let's do the happy one first. How about that? So what was like the moment, like maybe besides that 5th grade class just filling up the place that you were like, this is awesome. This is going to work. People love this.
So in 2022, my very first post-prom was Millard West. Millard West has 900 kids.
That's per class, right?
What?
No, per class. That was, for post prom, right?
Oh my gosh.
So, that was just what was at prom. It was 900 kids. And so I'd always done, little birthday parties here and there, less than 100 people. But when I go to set up at this gymnasium, one of the 5 that they have, I realized that, okay, this is big time, right? Obviously, I didn't really care too much about the money because it was, getting in front of a lot of people. And so once I did that for the first year, I had that oh shit moment. This is for real.
I bet that was crazy.
And then, they called me back the next year, last year. And so I actually have done those guys 3 years now, and to build that relationship, that you've done something right, And so I did 11 post-proms last year. This year I've done, I think, 8. And so there was, always growing these, smaller schools. Because a lot of places don't have the opportunities, especially, like I said, Thedford, 4.5 hours from Lincoln. And so I get out there and...
Oh, yeah, they wouldn't be seeing a lot of stuff like this ever.
No, they don't have anything. They're so, rural out there. They don't have any kind of entertainment. All they have is bars. And so to be able to go out and travel the state has been awesome.
When you got that Millard phone call or email, what was the first one? What was your thought?
My first thought was, where's Millard? They said, oh, it's, west of Omaha. Okay, so I had to go on Google and look to see what it was. But even I couldn't find anything out about the school until I was physically around the, campus of the school. And so that's when I realized that, it's such a huge campus. It feels more like a college almost because it's so big.
Did they tell you the number of kids ahead of time?
Yeah, they told me ahead of time, what to expect. And so, fortunately, it wasn't 900, all playing at
all at once. Yeah,
they're coming and going, and they've got other companies there to keep everybody busy. But yeah, it was a lot for the first time. Now it's just like whatever.
And you took the knockaballs to there?
No, the bigger groups like that, we tend not to do the knockerballs just because
I can see that getting messy. And
right.
Everybody's fighting over those too. Yeah,
smaller schools like we did Waverly, Malcolm this year. They had the knockerballs, because you can get the equal play time, because there's not as many kids. But we usually do it for 3 to 4 hours, for post prom. So in that time, you've got plenty of time to play because you're going to play in the knockerballs 5 to 10 minutes at a time. You're going to get out. You're going to be hot. You're going to be tired. You're going to be sweaty. And so 5 to 10 minutes is about all you need, at a time. You're going to come back because you want that adrenaline, But you got to make sure you stay hydrated.
That's awesome. Like that many kids, period. My post-prom was not like that.
What's post-prom? I didn't have that.
Oh, got it.
We left prom and went out to the boonies and started drinking.
Yeah, they did that. Yeah, so we would not do that.
Right, exactly. That's why I appreciate it now. I'll tell you what, nowadays it's definitely a different ball game. They have police. They do breathalyzers at proms.
Oh, yeah.
And so, they kind of keep that.
Yeah, Chris ruined that for us.
Sorry. That's true. Huh. Okay, so let's go to the bad oh shit. Was there a time that you were like, this is not a good idea?
Like when school starts, to slow down and they're on their last few weeks, it's usually about that time because summer is very slow for me. You just don't have people, calling you up like they do through the school year.
Yeah,
right.
Sports.
So they got vacations and stuff, that they're doing throughout the summer. So summer is usually really slow for me, and that's probably the scariest part is not having that, constant phone calls coming in. Wintertime, everybody, don't want to be outside Nebraska, and if they do, the hell with them. I don't do anything outside, after October 10th.
But you could bring the knocker balls on the snow.
Yeah, you could.
Have you done that before?
No. Just because if we get snow, what does it do? It freezes, right? And so it could become a little small, ice,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No, if it's powder snow, cool. If it's not going to be that, wet, heavy snow, because that right there would, subject the balls to be, popped.
Okay. Fine.
Sorry, Chris.
Sorry to burst your bubble there, Chris.
But the vision in my head with a bunch of 9-year-olds on ice on knocker balls.
Now, I would probably do the Zorb balls probably just because, they're a little thicker.
Around.
And take it out to like Holmes Lake and roll down the hill.
I couldn't even
my
imagine
God.
rolling in one of those.
The Holmes Lake Dam.
Holmes Lake Dam.
You could roll somebody down it.
That's what he said.
End up in somebody's, apartment over there.
Yeah.
Because you try to stay up as long as you can, but eventually you're just going to somersault over
Yeah,
top of yourself,
once you're
right?
traveling, high rate of speed, you're probably going to just start tumbling. So the ones I have, there's several different kinds of Zorb balls. They have one that is like 10 foot tall that has a harness and only one person can ride in it. Well, the ones I have are only 8 foot tall, but you can have up to 3 riders.
What?
I don't recommend it just because, all I keep thinking is, when you put shoes in the dryer,
Yeah.
what does it do, right? Just
Yep.
I don't want more than one person in the Zorb balls. That's just me.
Well, I guess that could go back to the date night idea.
Right.
It could be fun.
Get in the Zorb ball.
See if
And
there's a date after that.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to test your relationship. Get in the Zorb balls and just roll down the hill. See how it goes. No, it's all about fun. I can't tell you enough about people that just don't know how to have fun anymore. Since the pandemic, people are scared to have fun.
Oh, that's terrible. Not me though.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Joe's having more fun than ever before. Well, until you go to Knockerball.
Yeah.
And then I get beat up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we're going
All right.
soon. So what are your future plans for Knockerball? Where is it going? What's the plan?
I want to have multiple locations. Obviously, I picked the name Nebraska Knockerball, for growth reasons, and so I'd like to have a couple here in town. Maybe some out west, just because there is absolutely nothing. But in the next year, I definitely hope to have enough business coming in to have obviously employees, so that way, as the business owner, I can enjoy being a business owner. But currently, I'm looking for a storefront, so that way I could be just open to the public, and just waiting for people to come in.
Like if I wanted to come by myself?
Right. If you want to just come in and, I'd probably hop in the ball and, take you on.
Yeah, you could almost make it as like exercise
Yeah.
classes at the same time.
Exactly. I definitely need to get some more exercise in.
You could team up with Liza, and then
I tell you what,
class there in Knockerball.
Liza, brought her team to do team building experiences, and she's feisty.
Oh, yeah, I bet they're very competitive, all of them.
Her and Felicia. Felicia had a broke foot, and she was still in the Knockerball.
Oh my gosh.
Just going full bore at it.
Oh yeah.
Makes sense.
No, we had those guys. They were doing things that I've never done with anybody else, just because they had that vibe. And so, like, one of my team building experiences is it's basically a track. It's called a caterpillar track. So you're using all of your team inside to make the track go, right? So you're hands over head, walking together in sync, making this track. So you're going to a destination, but you're using your whole team to get there, right? And so they had races. They had 2 teams that was side by side, just hauling ass inside this track.
I bet it's just fun watching.
I find more joy out of it, yes. I've always been a people watcher, but, watching other people have fun,
Yeah.
you have just as much as fun as them.
Yeah, nobody's miserable there, I assume.
No, I've never had anybody complain of, I don't like watching this. This is so boring.
Yeah.
And if I ever experience that, I'm going to get them, up and make sure they dance at least, because you may not want to do anything of the games, but you're going to dance.
Yeah, I like the whole idea of, rockin' 90s music.
Oh, yeah.
I'm all for it. I'm Gen X.
If we don't have music at a quote-unquote party, is it really a party, or is it just hanging out?
What do you think, Mr. DJ?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Henry. It is certainly not a party. You definitely need music.
Joe's a DJ, by the way.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, where can we find you? How would we get in touch with you if somebody wants to give it a shot?
Absolutely. You can reach me at my phone number is 402-460-8724 is the best way to get a hold of me. If you want to check out my website, that's www.nebraskanockerball.com. On socials, we are on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. It's at nebraskanockerball.com, or at Nebraska Knockerball, not .com, sorry.
It's fine. So you do have a TikTok. See, think of the videos that we could put on there.
Yep, TikTok. We just got that last year. I didn't really see a whole point in it, but seeing some other people that are not Knockerball affiliated, using bubble soccer balls to do some crazy stuff. I wanted to put out that actual content where it's supposed to be used, not inside the rodeo arena with the bulls.
Oh my God!
Yeah, they're out there. They've got these bubble balls that they strap in, put the harness on, and they let the bulls out. And there might be 5 or 6 guys out there, and they just launch the guys.
I've seen it. Yeah.
It's just absolutely
I will
nuts
be
to think
searching
about.
that shortly.
The last one I watched, they actually didn't cut the horns off the bull.
Oh,
so
that's not
literally,
going to work?
No, like the bull gored every single one of the balls, popped them. That's $300 to $400 per ball. In mine, anyway.
And that's not fun to watch. I want to see them.
Risk.
No,
Holy
and definitely not
smokes.
safe at all because you're harnessed in, so you're
Now you're
already
stuck.
You're stuck. You're sitting duck is what you are, exactly.
Yikes!
But they've got another. I'm sure you've seen this one, Joe. The guy that gets hit by the Tesla and launches him like 200 feet.
Yeah.
Totally fake if you know anything about science, but it looks cool, but totally fake just because if you get hit by a car that's going straight, where are you going to go? You're not going to go up.
No.
You're going to
gonna
go
go
backwards.
straight,
yeah.
That's it. So it's all about the law of inertia, right? An object at rest will stay at rest. An object will,
You're probably pretty
Yeah,
good
what
at
he
that
said.
Fine.
with your line of business.
Yeah,
You understand the laws of motion pretty well.
I always get the ones like, oh, I don't want to like really launch them. You're not going to launch anybody, Even somebody that's really large going against somebody that's really small. You're not going to launch them. You're just going to make them fall backwards. That's it.
Unless you jump, but you're not allowed to
You're
jump.
not allowed to jump. There are some safety things that you have to do in order to play. You can't lower your head like a bull and rage because they're open up top. And so you might be concussed if you do that. You're not supposed to jump at somebody because then gravity takes effect and whoever's jumping has the unfair advantage. You can't hit anybody from the behind or the side. You have to make sure that they see your eyeballs because if you don't expect impact, you're not going to brace for it, right? So you could get whiplash if you hit them from behind. And I do not tolerate bullies. If you knock somebody down and you're jumping on them while they're on the ground, there's always a bigger bully, and I will put on a ball.
Just out of nowhere, you come flying in
That's
there
right.
with a ball.
If I've told you once, and you failed to listen, then I'm sorry. It's you now.
Have you actually had to do that?
Oh,
I
yeah.
come in like a wrecking ball.
Changes the music right there. Going to next
Yo,
time.
I have had to pull some people out of the balls just because they refuse to not be a bully.
That's a bummer.
Yep. And like I
Teens,
said, I don't tolerate
adults?
that.
What-
Mostly teens.
Yeah.
Punks.
Yeah. Youths.
Yeah, you can't really do a whole lot of making them listen when they're at a certain age.
Sure.
It's just kind of like a dog. Whenever he goes outside, it has no apparent ears. They just everything in the nose tells them what to do outside. So
Listen, guy, I get it. I'll put this thing on. I'll run around. Yeah, no rules.
Right.
I'll do whatever I want.
Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of crazy. There are some places in town that you could do knockerball, not by choice. You just get selected. Not going to name anywhere, but from what I understand, they don't give you any kind of safety, rundown or anything. Hey, you want to put on a ball? Yeah, let's do this. All right. I don't do that.
And now everyone wants to hit that person because they have the ball on
Right.
and they're not ready for it.
No, yeah, exactly. If you're not wearing a ball, you can't touch anybody that is, because I've had one instance back before I had a business, just in the backyard drinking. Somebody, thought they were going to be Billy Badass and run up and, bum rush 2 guys that was in the ball. Well, he went smack and hit the ground. He rebounded hard. I'm like, man, play stupid games, win stupid prizes, I guess.
Yep. Mess around and find out.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. FAFO.
All right. Well, thank you very much for coming and doing this with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Chris, actually, we have a new segment.
Oh, we do?
Yeah.
We have a closing segment.
We have a closing segment, everybody.
Since the podcast is about Lincoln, what are some of the fun things you like to do in Lincoln on your spare time?
In my spare time, I obviously like to go out to the local lakes. It's always a good time to go out to Branch Oak. One of the best things I like is going to the mall. I don't really shop. I just love to go to the mall just because you've got those
Just
people that's
Like
always
South
there.
Point or Gateway?
People watching.
More Gateway, probably just because everybody's inside. You can't really see everybody outside if you're down at South Point. But Gateway is always fun just because you can go in there and you just see people. Like I said, I'm a people watcher. I used to go to the bars a lot, but kind of toned that down since I got married and have kids. But urban air and Lost and Fun are fun, especially if you got kids. I don't purposely get out and get on the trampolines by no means because I'm not a spring chicken anymore.
One for urban air, please. Kids with you? No, just me.
Yeah, no, just me. I'm just a creep. No, I'll go there and take the kids there, and obviously that's what it's about, is spending time with your kids. And so I'll do things that I normally wouldn't want to do just because it's not fun for me. But if it means the world to them, I'll try to do it with them, as long as I'm not going to get hurt. That's one of the reasons why I don't jump on the trampoline anymore. I've got one in my backyard, and I don't even use it.
Yeah, I'm getting up there where I'm afraid to push my body
Right.
on things like that. Because, you never know if your knee's going to just slip or your ankle or pinch a disc in your back.
When you got old man knees like me, I don't do anything that would jeopardize that. From playing basketball, in high school, I grew 6 inches in one summer, and my knees are terrible. I could be playing basketball, somebody just bumped me, and I would fall down like a gimp.
Well, I think that answers my questions. Thank you very much, Manny.
Are there any other segments that we've added that I don't know about?
I don't think.
No, I think that was the closing segment.
Not this time.
Producer Joe, at it again.
We'll see what happens next week.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much, Manny.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks,
I really
Manny.
appreciate it.
All right. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.